What's up, YouTube? So, in this video, I'm going to be kind of going over some roster moves that the Miami Dolphins have made today, August 24th. I'm going to try to put it out, but it's already like 11 o'clock. It's been a busy-ass day, but whatever. But we have released offensive lineman Jermaine Minor. I still can't pronounce that, but it doesn't matter. But the offensive lineman we got from New England. So we released him. We released Isaiah Ford, wide receiver. We have waived Robert Foster, wide receiver. And we have placed Lynne Baldwin, another wide receiver, on injured reserve. So I just wanted to kind of list them out, and now I'll talk about them, as a whole. I think Jermaine is pretty terrible. I didn't think he really had much of a chance to make this roster. I thought he was pretty much just a camp body, and that's pretty much what he turned out to be. Our offensive line room is already atrocious. So the fact that he can't even make it as a backup guard for us is kind of crazy. But, it is what it is, because he's definitely not better than people like Michael Dieter or Robert Jones or anything like that. So, he had to go. So it just is what it is. Isaiah Ford, he just doesn't have the natural athleticism to really make it that far in the league, especially with what this receiving core is looking like now. We just don't really have the room for him. It just is what it is. So, like I said, when I was kind of talking about a roster, I had a feeling that he would be someone who wouldn't make it past roster cuts. So it just is what it is. Robert Foster was a guy I thought might be able to make this team, but I guess not because he had some injuries and stuff like that. So it just is what it is. Not really a big shocker, especially given his age at this point and where his skills are now. Not really a big shocker. But the big one is Lynne Baldwin being placed on injured reserve. And it looks like from my research, the way it will work is if he wants to play for the Miami Dolphins this season, at least this season, what we would have to do is release or put him on a waiver, like basically release him, and then re-sign him, and risk another team picking him up. So that we're in a pretty rough situation there as far as he goes. So I don't know what his future with this team is. I don't want to let him go. But again, our receiving core is so much deeper than it was last year, but I just think he adds such a dynamic. I think he can play some running back for you. He can do special teams for you. Can do some trick plays for you. Can be an emergency quarterback. I think he can do quite a bit, and I don't think we've seen even a little bit of how he can be. And we started really using him as a yak receiver toward the end of last year, and him and Tua were really starting to connect at the end of the year. So I'm not really wanting to see him go. But maybe if we just hang on to him on the injured reserve until next year, he'll have another chance at a training camp. We'll see how that goes. Luckily, he was a draft pick, so he has a 4-year deal to work on. So it just is what it is. So, Anyway, that's going to be it for this video. I just wanted to kind of go over that stuff. If you liked it, I appreciate hitting that like button. If you have any questions or comments in the comments down below, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you next time. Bye, guys.